Hi guys, welcome to Learn Electronics Repair. Well, I'm back from the UK, so we better get started. Possibly just a short video this one while I get back up to speed. I've got 2, maybe 3 machines we can look at today, so these are car booty machines, okay. You can see that one there. So this, quite a chunky looking case, a Sprint at the bottom of it. Sprint computers in Spanish, ordenadores. Okay, so Spanish for computers. Creative drive. That sounds rather like an AT switch, but this is actually an ATX machine, as you can see from the back of it. So no onboard sound on this, so this plate doesn't actually match the machine. Okay, probably just one they found from somewhere. It doesn't matter. I don't think part of the machine's missing, unless they've changed the motherboard at some time for a different one. Couple of LANs, 3 LAN cards in this, no sound card, 3 LAN cards. So we have to say, pretty much for sure, this was used as a business machine. Any ideas why you'd have 3 LAN cards in the machine? Yeah, let me know what you think, unless it was some sort of like local acting, a bit like a router. What you used to call that, yeah, before we had routers, maybe this was acting something like that, maybe. So I think we better have a look at what's inside this. It has 2 USBs on it. That's fairly typical of sometimes the early P4 478, so it could be something a bit older than that. Yeah, let's have a look at what we've got. And we'll all do it together so we all get to see it at the same time. What's in this machine? Yeah. Well, here goes. Oh! It's another Pentium 2 or Pentium 3 slot A machine. I can see bad capacitors. That's very unusual on these machines. It's AGP but has a PCI graphics card, 3 ISA, quite a lot of bad capacitors. That's unusual. The hard drive's been disconnected, but it's still in there, because that'll stop you getting the data off it, won't it? Disconnect it. It's a QDI board because it says Legend QDI down here, but without the QDI logo, so it's probably a fairly early QDI motherboard. There were obviously lots of these machines built around QDI motherboards back in the day. Because of the capacitors on this one, we have to take it out and let's see what we actually have. This is quite funny actually, guys, because this has no RAM in, because obviously if you want to get rid of the content stored in the machine, you need to take the RAM out of it, and the hard drive is still in it. But this screw is absolutely seized in. I can't even get it out. I've tried with the various screwdrivers. It turns a little bit, it will not come out. But the best of it is that if I remove this screw and one underneath, I think the whole cage comes off. So I think in actual fact, whoever couldn't get this hard drive out of here, and they've obviously really tried before they gave up with it, and then took the RAM out instead, yeah, because that probably did the job. But I think this whole cage actually comes off the case. Even this one's a little bit stiff getting it out, but I think we're getting there. 2 screwdrivers required, yeah, out it came. And then I think this thing actually comes out. There you go. So you couldn't get the hard drive out, but there you go, yeah. Some things I find, it's just like unbelievable with these things, yeah. But there we had it. I'll take the rest of the machine apart and we'll have a look what we've got. Okay, so one QDI Legend motherboard. This is a particular model, we can see. P6i440BX. I can tell you now, if you're not so familiar with this retro stuff, there's 440BX, which is the chipset, is probably the most desirable chipset for Pentium 2 machines like this. The capacitors down here look in a rather bad way. You can see not all of them, but some of them. looking quite bulged. And one also down here, the same as obviously leaked. So I think I should at least change the ones that look bad. I mean, they're probably all bad, to be quite honest, these anyway. In fact, realistically, I should change all of those. Okay, this is another Pentium 2. Which speed is it? 275? Is that the speed? Not sure. Could be. Okay. Hopefully we'll get it working. We'll find out. I need to get this processor out to actually get to these capacitors. This can actually be a bit tricky with these machines. It's sometimes not so easy to get these things out. The idea is you push these clips inwards and it comes out. This one is actually going to come. Yeah, it's unusual. So we can see the slot now. This is the slot A. I think it was called the slot 1. Actually, I think it was slot 1. Looks a bit like an extended AGP slot, actually, if you look at it. And if you look inside here on the actual processor, you'll see it is like an AGP slot. So there's like double layers of connections. Hopefully maybe you can see down there, get it to focus. Okay, so that's one of those. Yeah, I think you can see now it's like an AGP with 2 layers of connections. These things actually fold down now for storage as well. That's how they were designed. Let's see what these capacitors are. They're fitted in such a direction it's difficult to read. I bet they're 1000, 6.3 volts. If I take one out, we'll be able to see quite clearly. Graphics card S3VHDO, you can see it there. So this would have probably half a meg of RAM on. You can put another half a meg. 1997, quite an old one. And as I mentioned, 3 LAN cards. Okay, 3 LAN cards there. 97 kind of predated the internet, at least as we know it. That's not actually quite true, because I think the World Wide Web, first time I ever saw it, I think was 95. Yeah, 95 would be the first time I ever saw it. But this was in the very early days of the internet, and you would have a modem card. There's no modem, so I'm not totally sure what this was doing, unless it was running something like a BBS, bulletin board system, which sort of predates the internet. Again, guys, comments, okay. Let's get one of these capacitors out and let's see what they are. Well, we can see they are exactly what I thought, 1006.3. I have quite a lot of these, so I'll change all the ones that have bulbs. I'll leave the other ones for now. That should be enough to see if this actually works or not, and then we can come to the other ones and replace them afterwards if we want to. If I can get this working, and assuming the hard drive functions, we may be able to figure out what this machine was doing. I think it could be interesting. Looking at the row of capacitors, first 2, 3, 4, 5, they all look okay as far as the first one, which is bulbs, which is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that one looks okay, that one's a little bit. I'll change those bad looking ones, those 4 plus the one I've already taken out. May as well go for this as well, I think. And then, let's see. Yeah, another one down here. So I'll change the worst looking ones, and then let's see if we can actually get the board to boot up, and if so, we can do the other ones. I've changed most of these capacitors, all the ones that look bad. That should at least be enough to get a thing going. I also changed the one near the front as well, this one. You can see quite a neat job of that, really. So let's see if this works. I've noticed there's a sticker on it, by the way, 2nd of June 1999. It says QDI Brilliance rather than QDI Legend, but there we go, why not? This doesn't have any onboard graphics, so we'll put the PCI graphics card in, we'll put the analyzer card in, why not? Let's see if we get anything out of this. Okay guys, I've put the analyzer card in, I've left the graphics card and the RAM out at the moment. This may not work in this board, it's having ISA slots, I may have to use an ISA post analyzer card. I do have one, I'm not 100% sure it's actually working, we may end up finding out. I've connected the power supply, no RAM, so this should bleep. Let's switch it on and let's try. Well, the fan's no good on the processor, I can say that much. This doesn't light up. Fan is trying to spin. Doesn't bleep. Okay. Let's try it without that a minute. Let's see if we can get any bleeps out of it. Speaker is connected. Yeah, wires are good. Okay, let's go again. Power. No bleeps, no nothing. Okay, let's just try this in a different slot. Ah, there you go. It's saying this has a RAM error then, although it's not bleeping. I'll stick some RAM in it and let's see what it does. C1 is definitely a RAM error. This is a, what size is this strip of RAM? 64 meg, I think. Okay. We'll stick it in one of the slots and see what happens. Right, okay, so again, power on, switch on. And it's going past that now. Definitely have a faulty fan, but I think this is probably going to work. For some reason the bleeper isn't working. I've realised now it's connected to the wrong place. Let's try it once more. Okay, simple error. Try again. On. Yeah. That's saying there's a RAM problem again. Okay, maybe the RAM slot's a bit dirty on this. Probably are. Go again. Booting this time. Once again, the fan isn't working, but that says no graphics card. Well, I've put the graphics card in once again. On, start. Again, it's saying there's no graphics card. Could be a problem with this graphics card. I don't have a picture. I'll try another. In fact, I'll probably try an AGP. Actually, I probably do have one somewhere. Or we'll just try sitting this one in a little bit better. I think maybe with the board just on the bench, it wasn't just in right. Let's just try that. Yep, definitely doesn't like that graphics card. Okay. I'll put the AGP graphics card instead. Let's see what this one does. Ah, and now we have a picture, I think. Yeah, we do. Let's get the camera up there for you. Yeah. Bleep. QDI legend, badge, QDI badge, the medal. Yeah, so this does seem to be working. I just need to get a keyboard, set the BIOS to the defaults, and we'll try attaching the hard drive and see if this will even boot. Okay, so I have the hard drive attached on it. I have everything basically ready to go here, so let's see what this actually does now. I don't think this CPU will overheat too quickly, even without the fan working. Probably be fine enough to actually boot this up into Windows, if that's what's on it. Okay, it has 128 meg of RAM, by the way. Let's enter the BIOS. If it will go so far as that. No, something's hanging this up now. Oh no, there we go, we're in the BIOS. So we'll just go for save exit. We'll hopefully get the chance to put the Set up defaults in first, it's on another option. Okay, set up defaults, yes. Save, yes. Well, let's see what she does. I can't hear the hard drive at all. Nothing. I would say the hard drive isn't working. I'm just checking out the IDE cable on the right way around. Yes, I do. Yeah, it's not seeing the hard drive, guys. So unfortunately, we're not going to have a look to see what this machine was originally doing. Bit of a shame, might have been interesting, but we have a good machine, that's for sure. And these things are quite valuable, these 440BX boards. Let's have a look to see how much this one's worth, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the £100 to £140 bracket, that sort of price. Okay, let's have a look. Well, there we have it, and that's sort of what I said. Okay, so that one does come with a few bits and bobs with it. Hard drive, sound card. Another one, £69, £70. Okay, so a little bit less than I expected, but that's what it's for sale of. Another one, 47 plus 35 postage, I will say. Let's see if any of these are actually sold. That would be giving us a good idea. Well, none are actually sold, or not recently, so I can't give you an actual price on what that's worth. One went for £15 for parts only, and that's about it. So guys, make your own mind up, but they definitely have some value, these things, and I'm happy to keep hold of this one, even if it's not fetching a good price now. I'm pretty sure it will in the future. Okay, so that's a good working one. Let's see what else we have. And here we have another one. Not in good condition, this, as you can see. It's falling to bits, basically. All the side panels are missing off. It's just a big mess inside here. That's how I got it. So obviously a lot of rust and corrosion. I think we can see it's even possibly an AMD machine, not sure. The old rust has got everywhere inside this, so I'm not sure if this is going to work. Looks like it is an AMD machine, actually, just looking down in there. Look, this is kind of like broken. So let's see what we can do with this. I mean, the first thing we're going to have to do with this is take it apart and see what we have in here. So there's a hard drive here rattling around. Okay. There's another hard drive in there held in with a screw or two. Floppy drive to these cables. You can see a bit further. I mean, this thing is absolutely filthy. The motherboard's not fastened down properly. Little bag of bolts in here. Oh, these have little clips that hold them in place, by the looks of it. A bit unusual that, but that's what they have. Yeah, like little clips on the IDE. That's a bit different. Look at the state of this, guys. Floppy drive again with these little clips on. This is all sticky and nasty. I'm not sure what's happened with the power supply here. It's like fell in or something's happened to it. I'll unscrew that, I think. Although these are quite interesting connectors, this is going in the bin. So guys, this isn't in the best of condition. This is hard drive. You can see it's missing the power connector there, which is attached to this wire. Okay, that's off that. All this is all completely bent. Yeah, probably a lot of broken connections. I mean, it has gone back down, but I'm not too worried about this. Seagate medleys 3210, very common things. 3.2 gigabytes. The other drive, 4.3 gig, is definitely in better condition than that one. but I wouldn't exactly say it's good, but yeah, that's that. The AGP card is kind of hanging out the slot. It's not in properly. Let's hope it doesn't damage something. Looks like something wet and sticky on there. Don't like the look of it. So I'll get his power supply out of the way. Okay. I think this thing can go directly into the bin. Oh, this is fun. So this has a slot 1. It's an Intel machine. It has a socket 370, I would assume. Both. Only has ATX power. I've seen one like this that had ATX and AT power connectors as well. That doesn't want to come off there easily. Well, it's going to have to come off. Take the motherboard out and maybe I'll get that off there. See this? This is moved, it's stuck. Yeah, it won't easily move, but it's managed to move off the chipset somehow. Okay, getting somewhere. Yeah, actually that looks like it's okay-ish. Okay-ish. Slot looks okay-ish. Nothing broken on the plastic at least. Okay. Another, you can't see it, but another strip of RAM lying down there. There it is in its glory. Okay, I'll get this motherboard out and then I'll see if I can manage to unplug this. It's kind of seized in at the moment. Doesn't want to move. And then you never know. Is this one going to work? Well, we'll find out. This is the graphics card. You can see this hasn't survived too well. It has a connector here for some sort of daughter board. Is it more memory or something? 3D image 9750 Trident. Okay, fastware. Okay, so that doesn't look too clever to be quite honest, and I have no idea what this substance is, but I don't really want to put my fingers in it. So that's that. A stick of memory was lying around in the machine. I'm pretty sure it came from there. This is broke. Yeah, that one is. I mean, it's still attached, but it doesn't click like this. It just kind of flaps around, yeah. As I mentioned, this is somehow moved. You can just about move it. Slots look okay. AGP slot looks fairly okay. There's some corrosion around the SIO chip and this one. Is that the sound chip or something? No, I don't think it is. Well, it's in that general area, but who knows? We'd have to look it up. Oh yes, it says 3DX audio on it. That's a bit of a giveaway. Some somewhat bent pins down here, but we can deal with them. That's not a problem. Power LED. I'll just bend them so they don't touch each other. I think I'll try cleaning this up with a bit of ISO just as best I can. We'll straighten those pins and then let's give this a go. I've cleaned this with some ISO. I've got rid of the worst of it at least. Doesn't look so bad now, okay. While I was at it, I cleaned the RAM slots and the AGP slot. And I thought I would have a go at this graphics card. So I've cleaned the worst of it off. I mean, we can try this, I guess, just to see if it does actually do anything. Okay. The best way to clean this would probably just to get some leaded solder, effectively reflow those. You know, a bit of like drag soldering. I think that's probably the best way to clean that, but it may work actually, yeah. Okay, I still don't know what this connector's for. Is it some sort of video decoder like MPEG or something, or is it extra memory? I have to say I really don't know. Motherboard's quite interesting actually, having the slot 1 and the PGA 370. This is not so common. It could be of some desirability on the retro market. Let's see if there's any markings or maker's name on this. Says elite on the chipset, if that has anything to do with it. It's not ECS, is it, this by any chance? As is the case with a lot of these motherboards, nobody ever seemed to want to claim who made it. I actually think QDI was the first manufacturer that I noticed actually were putting their names on their motherboards. This is really before I was seeing Asus motherboards and Gigabyte motherboards. I think they came a bit later, but hey, you guys, comments. There is no doubt something in the BIOS string, you guys have told me before, where you can figure out what these things are. But we need to get a BIOS string, yeah, so let's try this then. We have the analyzer in there, ready to go. Power on. Does it start? Well, it's bleeping to say there's no RAM. That's a good sign. We have some signs of life out of this thing. The fan is stuck, basically. So, try just sitting the RAM and maybe in a different slot. Now this time it didn't start. All F's. Okay. Try another strip. Interesting, because you saw it, guys, the first time it was C1 and now not. Try it without any RAM. Huh. Put that into a different slot. Okay, interesting. Give that again. Well, it looks like it was a one time, and now it doesn't want to start. I'll take the CMOS battery out. Get rid of that, I'm sure that's flat. Okay. What's it do? C1. No RAM. But obviously there is no RAM now. Okay. Let's go with this in a different slot. Right. FF. Huh. Same. Same. Just push down on that BIOS chip. There we go. Well, from what I can see, if I put this strip of RAM in, I just get FF like it won't start. No RAM, we get C1. Sometimes. So this is like got intermittent connection somewhere. Just try cleaning around this again. This is where the corrosion was. Okay. That didn't make a difference. I'll try reseating the CPU. Let's see what we have in here as well at the same time. Okay, so this is a one of those. Stiff that socket. Let's say Celeron. Okay, so we have a Celeron. This is definitely a bit stiff. I'll just see if I can just clear the crap. Oh, that's better. That's better. It seems a bit easier to spin now, yeah. Still a little bit stiff, but a bit better. Okay, let's go with that. C0. Well, we seem to have got past that particular problem. And it's intermittent, guys. You can see that. You can see this is intermittent clearly. And we're running, guys. I put a new battery in, a new CMOS battery. Let's see. There we go. Saying no graphics card. Again with the RAM in the other slot. Oh, now that it seemed a bit iffy with. Let's just waggle that around a bit. Well, you just saw what I did then, guys. So it's still temperamental. I pushed down on this chip and then it started. And if we look, the memory all goes to this chip. You can see all the tracks go that's coming down to the RAM. So this effectively is the memory controller. The fact that this chopper's all loose, I don't know if something's hit this or something, but I'm suspecting we probably have some bad connections under here. If I get lucky like that time, it will boot and say no graphics card. Or similar. Like that. I think with this one, we're going to have to see if we can reball this chip. I think that's the answer to this one. That is definitely a video in its own right, because this one is just too long, yeah, and it's one of those interesting topics. I'll just try a graphics card, see if I can get a picture out of it, but I think that's what we need to do with it. You can also see quite clearly that the chip, this one, also connects to the AGP slot. But I've put a card in there, so let's try it. Okay, there we go, just on the VGA. Power on. This is a known good graphics card, blue light. Yeah, and we're working. This is an Elite motherboard, it says at the bottom, Elite P6BAT, that's exactly what it is. So this does work, it's just having this temperamental problem. I'll switch it off, I'll just push on this chip again, okay, and we'll try it again. Of course, sod's law now, it will probably work every time. That's how it is, guys. That's just how it is. But I'm confident enough to say that I need to reball that chip. Let's have a quick look to see if this thing's actually worth anything. I'm fairly sure I've had this one before, or rather this model before. Yeah, or rather no, because it's just found other things. It hasn't found that at all. We can have a look in the sold listings, and again we don't find any sold ones either, but I do think this would have a reasonable value just because of what it is. Okay guys, so enough for this video. We'll definitely give this a go. I'll put on my little pile of things to do. It's interesting enough, I think, to have a go. It's obviously rather intermittent as it stands, so it's not really worth anything as it stands, yeah. So why not? Interested to know what you guys think. Get in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you all soon on another Learning Electronics Repair video. Ciao for now, guys.